everyone, and welcome back to the Meter Up series. I'm your host, Chris, and I'm joined again, of course, by Xiao Han. We are going to be covering some great topics today, including the vision and goals of Meter, and it should be a really exciting episode, so make sure you tune in till the end. We will be covering some important topics, everything from our passport system to DApp deployment on Meter blockchain itself, to even the stable coin with MTR that a lot of you have been asking about. Before we jump into everything, please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment on this, and share it with your friends and family because Meter is one of those projects that has so much use value that it's going to bring a lot of value to a lot of people. They just need to know about it. That's why we're doing the series. That's why we're putting a big emphasis on marketing right now, and we're going to cover some great topics today. So, Shahan, thanks so much for coming by and joining the program and spending some of your time with us today.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Chris, for organizing this.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
like last
Everyone's
weekend is a little bit crazy with
yeah,
all the
last weekend was
activities
crazy.
going on. But like, I think we will survive. Yeah, and the market will be stronger afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody's
Mm.
excited to see you here again, as always, Xiaohan. And you hit the nail on the head. Market was crazy last week, and I think in the world of crypto, that's what we can expect. There's big ups, there's big downs. It's volatile. It's a new space. This is new technology. This is a new arena that's really being developed. And something like Meter, what really gets me so excited, and I know a lot of other investors are really excited about the fact that I think there's a clear outline that DeFi, decentralized finance, it's not going anywhere. And Meter has a great opportunity to position itself, and I think will position itself as a major player in the DeFi space when it comes to things like scaling, interoperability, providing that level of freedom that a lot of these blockchains and a lot of these dApps that are built on these blockchains really would like. And we do it in a very unique way. And of course, we'll have time to dig into all of that. But right off the bat, how's your day going so far, Shahan?
Yeah, my day is doing great. Uh, as usual, we're juggling a lot of different things. But one of the things we've been discussing with internally, also with Chris, is like what really the goals for Meter. But going back to the roots, what we realized was it's really about freedom. When we started the project, um, we're thinking about freeing people from the control of the centralized government, from the monetary policies of the government. And then we added things like we want people to be able to not restricted to the performance of the blockchains of Ethereum, and be able to deploy their applications everywhere, not to be restricted by any blockchains. And also, right now where we are is we want the people be able to move their assets anywhere, use the assets anywhere, not be restricted by anything. That's really the fundamental beliefs for us. And even going way back, I'm thinking the reason for me to come to the US 20 years ago is actually I believe in freedom. I want to build something, use my creativity, use my initiatives to build something like entrepreneurial. That's one of the main reasons for me to come to the US. It's really go back to that roots, building freedom for both and choices for people and also for myself.
That's fantastic, and I love that. And I think, really at this point, Meter is providing so many opportunities and options and value to whether it be investors or dApps or users who want to move their assets around. I love that it all comes from a place of wanting to provide that freedom, and freedom is something that's so desperately needed, I think, in the crypto space. There's so many limiting factors. There's so many different blockchains and fees and gas and lack of interoperability, and there's just not enough interconnectivity. There's not enough options, and I'm so happy that Meter is going to be able to bring that to this space,
Yeah.
because in my opinion, and I think a lot of others share this opinion, it's very desperately needed.
Mm.
Now I know Meter does some pretty unique things when it comes to its actual passport system, and this is something that a lot of people are very excited about. They've been talking about it. They've been asking questions. They want to see more blockchains on it. They want to see more dApps. We're very excited to launch, the partnership with Ampleforth. We actually are connecting them from Ethereum over to the Binance Smart Chain, with even more blockchains in the works and even more partnerships on top of that. UTU, Ray Finance. I mean, we have a lot in the pipeline. But maybe you can talk to me a little bit about some of the goals of Passport, really when it comes to fundamental goals, as well as long, medium, and short-term goals in a more pragmatic sense.
Yeah. So yeah, the reason behind the passport is really like because I'm like engineer at heart. If I feel something doesn't work or like feel it's not convenient from a user's perspective, I just want to fix it. I want to create something that help people. So that's the motivation of creating the meter passport. If we look at the goals for passport, is really we can divide it into the short-term and mid-term and also long-term goals. Short-term, we're talking about in the next quarter or so. Basically, we want to connect as many blockchains as possible to ramp up more users for Passport and also get the name out there to build more partnerships with other blockchains, with other dApps. And then midterm, I'm targeting more towards the end of the year because at the initial launch of the passport, we took a shortcut. So for example, the initial set of relayers is like 5 relayers, but in the long run, I mean, like people definitely want to have a more decentralized solution. So we're targeting towards the end of the year, we'll have another V2 solution, which is going to be first highly decentralized. There won't be any limitations on number of relayers running the meter passport, and also obviously reduce the cost of gas costs, especially on Ethereum, to make it more affordable and more scalable. And over the long term, we really want to enable some more advanced features to allow dApps to like communicate across the blockchains. So you may notice that with the initial release of supporting Ampleforce, we already actually showcased some primitives of communication for smart contracts across blockchains. For example, Ampleforce has this rebasing functionalities. This, what they do is they will have a master contract on Ethereum, and using Meter Passport, Ampleforce can relay the commands of rebasing to all the blockchains as one single command. So this is like just the first primitive use case for inter-blockchain communications. But imagine like with the infrastructure going on there, we'll be able to support, for example, even moving liquidities around across blockchains, help user to find better deals for like yield farming, for like making swap transactions. All these type of things become possible across the blockchains. So we want to like create a framework for people, for developers to be able to do that. So that's a little longer term, I would say. Sometime next year, we'll have a more advanced framework for that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And what's really interesting to me is that if you look at this from a logistical standpoint, it really benefits every party involved, whether it be the end user getting to move their assets around and have the freedom to, um, move liquidity around, have tokens swapping around to different blockchains, using it in different spaces, whether it be the dApps that are actually built on these blockchains, getting access to new liquidity, getting access to new actual audiences, or whether it be these blockchains that want new dApps to be coming to them and being able to deploy and doing really cool and interesting things that I know Meter can do that are pretty unique is, being able to balance out ledgers if they have multiple different dApps that are, or I'm sorry, multiple different blockchains that they're being released on. Meter can actually be an intermediary to not only wrap up those tokens, to not only get them deployed on a new blockchain, but actually balance out the tokens to make sure there's no inflationary aspect going on and provide that service. So whether it be the blockchains themselves, whether it be the dApps that are deploying on them, or whether it be the end user, it sounds like Meter's providing a ton of value across the entire spectrum when it comes to the Passport system.
Yeah, right now we believe there are just too many walls for the users in the current like blockchain space or crypto space. It's like every big project is trying to build their own silos or their own ecosystems or kingdoms. But like that's not how the internet was built. Internet is aimed to break all the walls, to connect everyone, to like free you from any restrictions. That's what we're trying to do, basically breaking the walls and connecting people and assets.
Love it. Love it. Cannot tell you how excited I am. And I know there's a ton of people that share that same sentiment. So maybe now we can move on to talking a little bit more about what the ecosystem of Meter is going to eventually kind of look like, or some of the priorities that Meter has when it comes to things like their own decentralized application deployment on the Meter blockchain. Because I know there's some big, interesting things happening there as well. Could you elaborate what some of the things that are going on there, as well as some of the goals that we're really looking at when it comes to DApp deployment on Meter?
Yeah, obviously, we want to build a healthy internal economy for Meter as well. This is very crucial for supporting the Meter governance tokens value and also the Meter stablecoins value. Um, so I think on our roadmap, we already mentioned we're going to launch the liquidity mining Meter swap very soon. One thing we're like delaying it a little bit was obviously there is some development, new development related to the Meter passport. And the other thing is we're trying to figure out what's the best way to incentivize the people to provide liquidity on Meter swap. And with the upcoming liquidity initiative we're going to do on like the BSC, we're also trying to like space out a little bit between the two, so people don't get confused on what liquidity pool to focus on. But like we can assure like the community that the Meter swap liquidity mining is going to start very soon. We're targeting in June, and then we will create like a new community-driven token for Meter swap initiative. And also, if you look at the DeFi, essentially there are like three pillars for any DeFi ecosystem. The first one obviously is the DEX, where you have the trading activities. And then the second one is the lending and borrowing. So that's a second project that we're currently working on. Also, we will combine it with the synthetic assets concept to make it a universal liquidity for across blockchains. So for example, when we connect to another blockchain, we not only provide the infrastructure, we also bring the liquidity over. So that's the next project we're currently working on. We're looking around launching sometime in summer. And finally, is once you have the two, you will have liquidity mining and also the yield farming going on. So like once we have this ecosystem, a lot of things can build on top of it. So we will rely on like working with a lot of third parties to bring these applications over to the ecosystem. So that's a current plan for the dev side of the.
That's great. That's really exciting stuff, Xiaohan. I love that you conveniently slipped in there that we might be seeing a an actual community token that's centered around MeterSwap. I think there's been some people that have been asking and wondering and seeing if that was a possibility. And it's great to hear that that's going to be on the table, because that's really exciting stuff that we could use to help develop the community and bring more value to the space that Meter's developing here. So that's very, very exciting. Guys, this is what we do the series for. You're hearing a lot of stuff here first. This is why it's important to tune into the Meter Up series, because Xiaohan's here just giving you gold nuggets all day long. Yeah, this is the important stuff that's going to allow us to build and grow as a community and as a project, and it's really exciting. Now, last but not least, because we definitely don't want to forget about a very important part of the project, Xiaohan, MTR, or
Yep.
the Meta stablecoin. Can you talk a little bit about what some of the goals and plans are for the MTR side of the project? Because a lot of people have been asking, what's going on, or feeling like it's not getting the shine that it deserves or the light that it deserves on it, feeling like it's maybe going on the back burners. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on the role that MTR is going to play, and where it's at right now, and what's going to be to come for it? Because I know it is still a very important part of this plan that Meter has in the bigger picture?
Yes, MTR is actually, when we started the project, we want to build a fully decentralized currency independent of the fiat system. Um, so that's a roots of the project, one of the roots of the project, and we definitely won't forget about it. One of the reason that we didn't emphasize it too much in the last couple of months was essentially there are just so many things going on for Meter. Um, if we bring too many things, people will get confused and wondering what exactly is Meter. And traditionally, a lot of people was just thinking Meter as a like a as sort of niche stable coin type of project. So we wanted to avoid that. That's why we didn't emphasize the MTR aspect of it. Um, and also one of the issues we found after we launched the Meter blockchain is obviously with all the liquidity mining and all the things going on in the DeFi space, uh, especially in the bull market, people are looking for like overnight boom type of launch for like any stable coins. But because of NTR is something that has to be mined, it cannot, for example, we cannot create hundreds of millions NTR overnight. And that put us a little bit in the disadvantaged position in like a strong bull market like where what we're having right now. But like with the Meter Swap launching, we definitely want to give Meter the MTR token uh, some like the space that it deserves. For example, we will have a like liquidity pool dedicated for the MTR tokens. For example, the MTR right now we have the MTR to MTRG trading pairs. We will have like more trading pairs for MTR as well. So it have more liquidity. And also one of the focus for the Meter swap compared to a regular swap is instead of trying to build like replicate a lot of, for example, Uniswap top pairs, the focus is actually um, foster the Meter ecosystem. So you will notice a lot of trading pairs include the MTRG and MTR. So that's the focus when we design the Meter swap, like the liquidity mining program.
Love it. All very exciting stuff, Shahan, and I think this is a lot of reasons for people to be, excited about the project, excited about the future on what it holds for Meter. And you did touch on something briefly there, where you mentioned the kind of immediate boom of, some coins and specific types of coins that maybe we won't bring up here, but Meter's not Meter's a project that, of course, is going to see some massive growth, but this is a project that revolves around tech. It revolves around the fundamentals. It revolves around being strong as far as having a strong team, as far as having strong engineering and development and partnerships. And these things take a little bit more time than your typical, kind of pump and dump meme coin or something along that line. And the beauty of it is there's a ton of people in the space right now that are looking for fundamentally strong projects, that are looking for a place that is going to be resistant to things like these big bear markets. And I think DeFi is one of those spaces. And I think Meter is going to be an integral player in DeFi and what it has to bring to the table. So something really exciting looking forward. And I'm just bringing that stuff up as an investment from an investment perspective because I'm an investor as well. And I know that a lot of these things are very pertinent to the way people are looking at projects these days. And what gets me most excited and brings me the most conviction and, why, people are doing things like buying Meter during these dips is people see the conviction of the team, the conviction of the project, the conviction of what's going to be brought to the table when it comes to value moving forward and how much growth there is still left to be had for Meter and all these different partnerships and value propositions that are going to be brought to the table. So very exciting stuff. I think this is been a very important episode for people. And other than that, any kind of closing or final words that you'd like to add on top of that, Sean?
Yeah, I think especially the community, I think we want to communicate the concept that we started the journey for building Meter because we believe in freedom, and that's a goal we're fighting for. That's what supported us through the bear market from 2018 to now. And I think it will propel us moving forward as well. I mean, no matter what kind of difficulties we run into, I mean, you can trust us. We're not going to give up easily. And you can rely on them. Yeah.
That's for sure. And what I've seen is, regardless of the marketplace or volatility or anything along those lines, Meter knows its place. Meter knows what it stands for. It's here to bring the freedom that people want, the freedom that
Yeah,
people
we fight for the freedom of the
fight for the
crypto
freedom.
community. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And that is such a valuable concept and such a valuable application of that concept in the marketplace, behind what Meter is doing. That's the stuff that gets me really excited, and why I'm so excited and grateful to be part of the project. So, other than that, guys, please remember, like, subscribe, share, comment on this, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your uncle that's just learning about crypto, the people that are looking for a great solution to help fix some Ethereum fee problems. We can connect to different blockchains. If those dApps that you wish would be hosted on other platforms or have access to other dexes or liquidity, that's our job. We step in. We're going to get it done, and Meter's here to stay. And I'm really excited about all of that. And Xiaohan, once again, I just want to thank you for your time, because this type of information and getting this out into the general community, into the public, is so valuable. And these are the reasons that people are really going to be excited about the project. So thank you so much again.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Let's bring freedom to everyone.